man. Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you. Get 18% off. We out. All right, man. Check our welterweight playlist out for more videos like this. It's a welterweight banger right here. Errol Spence says he had 47. No manager, promoter control him. Fans beat him upside the head and give him Willie Lump. Also, Terence Crawford goes on to say that he'll get his credit after he retired. But first, the Kell Brook fight seemed like it's coming together pretty nicely. I pretty much heard that fight was done or going to get done. I don't know if they tying up some loose ends. And I did hear last night that Kell Brook will be getting more than $1.5 million, and like he's going to take the fight. But you never know. Kell Brook is another word for pullout, because that's what he do. His pullout game is immaculate. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Now, about the Kell Brook and Crawford fight, I've been consistent. I don't like the fight. I would prefer him to go up and fight Patrick Teixeira. Maybe that's too much weight. Maybe it's some title issues here. Maybe they tell him he can't simultaneously hold 2 WBO titles. I mean, it's so much they probably can go into it. But personally, I guess he gonna do Canelo. You know, he gonna try to do a Canelo Triple G. One fought Amir Khan, one fight Kell Brook, but he gonna fight both of them. Personally, about the fight, I just don't think Kell Brook got the feet to deal with Crawford. I thought that Keith Thurman would beat him easily. What's so funny is I thought Keith Thurman beat him more easier than Errol did. But I think Errol might get Keith Thurman the business, especially to the body. And that's just how boxing works. You can't really use triangle theory. It rarely works. But, you know, at the end of the day, remember, keep that same energy. You know what I'm saying? Remember, Fanon was saying he was ducking him. I'm saying names today. He was ducking him. Remember, Blue Blood was saying he was ducking him. Remember, he need to fight Kell Brook. He ducking Kell Brook. Remember, Derrick James said that'd be the best fight he fought. And he don't know shit about boxing if he pushing that narrative. So remember, all these dudes was pushing the narrative. He was ducking him. And then when the fight seemed like it was about to happen a month or two ago, people were saying, oh, it's a bum fight. See, that's where you get inconsistency from. You know what I'm saying? You know, they changed the narrative because they don't like the guy. You know, you ask Errol fans, Crawford need to do this, do that in the third. It's that. All right. You ask Crawford fans, let's get the Errol fight. Let's do it. Let's fuck him up. That's the difference. You know, Crawford don't have the bigger fan base than Errol Spence at this point, at least social media wise. But he got the realer boxing fans. His boxing fans want to see the fight happen regardless. You know what I'm saying? But they just keep changing the narrative because the dude won't give him an interview. If I ain't never heard no more girly stuff than that, I don't know what it is. You know, I don't need to make money off Crawford name, Spence name. I don't need to. I don't need them to co-sign my channel. That's what people got to understand. My channel built different. I ain't got to have somebody daddy on here. I don't have a calling line. My channel was off the base of my creative mind and what I'm saying. And I am going to improve the experience. If it weren't for the pandemic, it'd be even more doper. But it's based off me. I don't need nobody to lean on. I don't need a panel. I don't need none of that shit. Every day, you know, or before I go to sleep, I start gathering information what I'm going to talk about the next day. And then my subs are very important because they always sending me stuff. So at the end of the day, I have my sources. I have my plugs. I have some really good people behind me helping me. It's just not a one-man show that it seemed to be. But at the same time, you know, my mouthpiece is the one that put me here. My hard work is the one that put me here. I ain't paid for a sub. I ain't linked on a nigga for a sub. I ain't need a boxer to co-sign me. That's why I'm the most dangerous channel out here. Boxing wise, I did it all, you know, just based off of my mind. But at the same time, I ain't got to change. I ain't got to create narratives. I ain't got to change narratives. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm going to keep it all the way funky like an old batch of collard greens. Keep that same energy. I'm consistent in, hey, man, I don't think this fight do too much for him. It's a low reward, you know, medium risk type of fight. Only reason I say medium is Kell Brook, you know, drop him and piece him up or give him a tough fight. And then people are saying, you know, it was, you know, you ain't that good. Now, if he beat up Kell Brook, you were supposed to do it. So it has no shock value. It kind of reminds you of the Gamboa fight for Devin Haney. He beat up Gamboa. I mean, it don't move you up. No, you supposed to do that. You get, you know, Gamboa land a good punch on you. Oh, you overrated. It's a lose-lose fight, but it's a stay busy fight. I mean, it's the best he can do during the pandemic. I'm not mad at Crawford. Do what you got to do. Got the hand speed advantage. Probably got the stamina advantage. Kell Brook got a really good one too. That's what you got to look out for. But, people ain't going to be consistent on it. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, they're going to take away from the fight. Now, I never put the fight on the pedestal and said it'd be Crawford's best opponent because I understand boxing. I understand Crawford beat a lineal champion and Victor Postal who beat the man. Stopped the man who Danny couldn't in Lucas Matisse. I understand Victor Postal was the lineal. Errol Spence has never beat the lineal champion. He's never held the ring belt. He's never fought the guy. He's never took an undefeated. He never took nobody in a championship fight. Crawford did. Twice. Those things you got to look at though. But, it is what it is. Like I said before, we was talking about Derrick James last night. I was talking to somebody about him last night. I talked to a few people last night. Fine, but man, people don't listen. Did we talk about that? Talked to a few people last night. Said he ain't shit as a coach. That's not my opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? Just people going around saying that basically he ain't progressed Errol and he ain't. I mean, I could tell he trained one style, aggressive, stiff style. You know what I'm saying? But hey, people in Texas saying it, man. Some people in Texas saying it, man. So, beware. But you can move on to Crawford saying that he get his credit after he retired. That's just how it is for a lot of black fighters, man. Joe Louis probably went through it. Sonny Liston went through it. George Foreman went through it. Ali went through it. You keep going on and on. A lot of guys, they got their flowers. Mayweather going to be one of them. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how it's usually the black fighter like that get their flowers, once they retire, man. And people want to lead you to believe that Ali was this beloved figure. A lot of people hated Ali because he didn't go fight for the country. But remember, Joe Louis went to go fight for the country, you dig? And, he did all that fighting for the country, and then they still came back and taxed his ass on taxes. So Ali knew what he was doing. He seen what they did to Joe Louis, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people didn't like Muhammad Ali until he started shaking. That's when he started getting his pageantry, and then he sold the rights to his name. That's why he on the video games and, FUBU Platinum and all that stuff. My whole thing is Crawford right? When they do a documentary, Crawford was a good fighter. There's going to be a lot of these dudes, just like when Kobe Bryant died. I've seen people slander Kobe Bryant's name every day of the year. Oh, he ain't that good. He dapped himself up before dapping LeBron. He's selfish. He didn't pass the ball. Now, all of a sudden, everybody care about the dude when he died. Man, if I pass away, don't give me no fake love. If you don't like me, man, fuck it. Keep it that way. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people did that with Kobe Bryant, and that's why I man, just people just so terrible. They did with Chadwick Boseman. First he was a crackhead and he lost all that weight. Now you feel sympathy for him. No, keep that same energy you felt about me when you was assuming stuff. Y'all know what I mean? Like, people is like terrible these days, and my whole thing is like, with Terence, it's gonna be that way. At least he old enough and mature enough to know it's gonna be that way. They hate me now, but once I conquer or do something good, when I retire, everybody gonna love me. And he basically said, once again, when the money get put up, those fights will happen. Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Errol Spence, and stuff of that nature. They're not putting no money up for no niggas. I've been telling y'all that. They not putting no money up. If Wilder and Fury Wilder and Joshua wasn't gonna happen, and that generated millions and millions of dollars. And shout out to The Rock. Hopefully his family healed from COVID-19. I love Dwayne Johnson. That's my guy. He can act. He was one of my favorite wrestlers. That's my guy. And he don't run away from his blackness. But that's how they get to him. He got to understand that, you just on the shit list right now. People see Bob Arum as the enemy, you as the enemy because you didn't give Barbershop Conversation an interview. People say, oh, he ran from town. Town don't give a fuck. Town told me, like, man, I ain't tripping off that shit. He a solid nigga. Like if somebody said, oh, I don't want to interview with you, I ain't gonna have no disdain for you. Brush me off. It is what it is. But a lot of these niggas get emotional and they hold on to stuff like females, man. And then they're going to be they're the same ones, like Nestor from the Boxing Voice. I'm saying names today. They're the same ones dick pulling for an interview. Oh, man, Crawford come talk to me and shit of that nature. He the same nigga. Diss a nigga, beg a nigga. Diss a nigga, beg a nigga. Like, come on, man. That's lame stuff. Move on. But he understands what position he's in. And it's always good to understand where you fall at in the totem pole, where you find him in the lineup. If he was a PBC and he was in Errol position, and he had on skills, people be riding from him. People just got this notion that Top Rank the enemy. And at the same time, don't none of these dudes respect new media. You know, I don't respect none of you niggas really. You know what I'm saying? None of you big channels, because y'all just showed me y'all no different than white old media. The difference is white old media got paid to slander niggas' names in articles. You niggas slander niggas' names for free. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have no respect for a lot of these dudes' work ethic and journalism and, you know what I'm saying, reaching and stuff, man. A lot of these dudes terrible. Boxing ego, terrible. Like, come on, man. These niggas is terrible. I just be looking at their channels, terrible. Dante Boxing Nation played a race card, but then this dude go around saying that when white people call him the N-word, he take that as a sign of endearment to fake black proness. He fake black as hell. Come on. I hate when people try to play the race card, but then they not down for the cause. He that type of nigga. He's a Uncle Ruckus on Tuesday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Sundays, and then he Malcolm X and Martin in between those days. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah. Basically, Errol Spence basically said I'm at 47, no manager, promoter control me. That's a lie. I'm gonna let y'all in this, and I know who told me this. I'm not gonna put his name out there. Who told me this is gonna be funny, right? Apparently, some people say Al gave him 4 names first, right? I don't know where that came from. I ain't been watching them, but I do know that he ducked Randall Bailey. Okay, I got this directly from a Randall Bailey interview, right? That somebody did. And basically, he said Al doesn't, and it's a perfect time. I wasn't even going to say this. I had this information for like a week or two. I wasn't going to say this, right? But basically, you know, Randall Bailey said that Al Haymon turned the fight down and that Errol Spence probably knew nothing about it. Now, remember, Randall Bailey was a knockout artist at 140. He fought Jeff Horn in his career. Remember, he knocked out who? Mike Jones. He knocked him out in that epic IBF title fight. And now he in bare knuckles. So for a dude that say no manager, promoter control his career, then why did Al Haymon turn down the Randall Bailey fight and you knew nothing about it? Why does your contract say you can't do nothing in boxing, even the hokey pokey you left, unless Al Haymon sign off on it? So at the end of the day, what you mean no promoter, no manager control you? This dude turned down the whole fight for you. And apparently you may not have known about it. So if that ain't control, I don't know what it is. Control it, like Janet, goddammit. It's the funk, man. And you know the Brat can't handle whatever the Brat said. That was a dope song. But hey, he turned down the fight. You know what I'm saying? Al Haymon turned down fights for you. What you talking about? You know, at the end of the day, oh, nobody controlled me. We know the contract because of the WBO, Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, Al Haymon lawsuit. Your contract says Al only take anywhere between 10 and 20-some%, you know, and basically in order to run your career. So you want to go out there and fight this wall right here, Al Haymon got to sign off on it. So get out here. Al Haymon has complete control over your career. You're not a promoter. That promotional company is a front so you can get a promotional money on the back end. All right? You know, no manager tells me what to do. Okay. At the end of the day, Al Haymon does tell you what to do. You know, you can't fight Terence without it. But now fans are flipping it, saying that, okay, Errol, since you your own promoter, why don't you fight Terence Crawford then? Make the Terence Crawford fight happen. And now he's sitting there looking stupid, putting his thumb up in his mouth again. You know what I'm saying? So if you control your own career, so it ain't the promoters that's holding it up. It ain't Bob Arum that's holding it up. Go make the fight. So now he's snitching on himself. But that's not the truth. He don't have no control of his career. And usually Al will probably do what he want him to do. They tried to talk him out of fighting Danny Garcia. And, you know, from what I heard, people went to Al. He said he want to do it. You know, his own family said, it's a little bit too soon. You know, some people over there try to run the Al. You know, so maybe he do have some control over his career and what he want to do and what he don't want to do. But, you know, to be personal, you know, since you have complete control, man, we want to see you fight Terence Crawford. We don't want to hear you lose Manny Pacquiao as a shield. You know, but we all know Al Haymon control you. He control what you do. We see in the contract. Like Gary Russell. Gary Russell can't move or shake until Al Haymon say so. So, you know, Errol have his, he be lying and shit, just talking and shit. Like, I'd be glad when this motherfucker lose. You right. I'd be glad when he lose. I'm tired of this. He fake, bro. Like, motherfucker done got some money. And then, like I said before, man, if Danny Garcia get the job done, praise up to Danny Garcia. I think him being back with Blu-ray is probably going to be too much for Danny. But we'll see, man, if he's healthy and whatever he's doing. And when he starts sparring, good for him. But you just get tired of the malarkey, man. You really do. You get tired of malarkey. You get tired of just say I'm a hoe and I'm scared of Terence Crawford. And we respect you to a certain extent. Everybody love hoes, penny hoes, 2-cent hoes, dollar hoes, $1 million hoes. You know what it is. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you got business questions, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Check out the welterweight boxing playlist for more videos like this. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App, PayPal inscription. Cash App is CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. Best way to donate is to share the video. Appreciate the love, support. Hey, let me know what you guys think about the video. Check out welterweight playlist for more videos like this. Check out the channel Motor City Sports Talk right here on YouTube. We go.